Andy. Good morning,
Hello.
everyone. I'd like to thank you for tuning in. I'd like to please call this meeting. New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice of and to attend the meeting of public bodies at which any business affecting their interest is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of this act, the State Board of Education has caused notice of the meeting to be published by having the date, time, and place thereof posted in the Department of Education, Secretary of State's office, and the notice has been given to the State House Press Corps, Governor's Office, and the State Board agenda subscribers. And as a quorum is present, this meeting will come to order. May I please have a motion? Thank you, Board Member Berry. I appreciate it. May I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mary Bennett. Board Member Bennett. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye. Aye.
So now I'd like to let us adjourn to executive session. Whereas, in order to protect the personal privacy and to avoid situations wherein the public interest might be disturbed, the Open Public Meetings Act permits public bodies to exclude the public from that portion of the meeting at which certain matters are discussed. Therefore, be it resolved that consistent with the provision of NJSA 10:4-12B, the State Board of Education will now adjourn to executive session to discuss personnel and legal matters. May I please have a motion?
Motion.
Thank you very much. Board Member Pena, may I please have a second? Thank you very much, Board Member Berry. Thank you. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, please say nay. Motion carries. Thank you very much. We will return at 10 a.m. Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for being here. I'd like to reconvene and resume our public portion of the meeting. Whereas consistent with the provision of NJSA 10:4-12B, the State Board will now adjourn from executive session and resume to the open session portion of this meeting. May I please have a motion? Thank you so much, Board Member Pena. May I please have a second?
Second.
Thank you very much, Board Member Berry. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Any opposed, please say nay. All right, very good. I'd like to continue, and Mary Beth Berry, would you be so kind as to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. I'd like to please announce that as state board meetings are accessible now to the public for viewing on the YouTube channel, I'd like to advise you that YouTube provides readily accessible language translation options for closed captioning. If you are viewing the simulcast now, you can use the settings option in YouTube for information about subtitles, automatic translations, and closed captioning in multiple languages. May I please ask for an approval of the minutes from last month of May 1st, 2024. Thank you very much, Board Member Pena. May I ask for a second?
Second.
Thank you very much, Board Member Bennett. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Thank you. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Hearing none, we'll move on. Public testimony for the month of June. The State Board will receive public testimony on the proposed amendments to Chapter 5, regulatory equivalency and waiver in Chapter 23A, fiscal accountability, efficiencies, and budgeting procedures, subchapter 16 through 22. Today, Mary Bennett, Joe Ricca, Arcilio Ponte are scheduled to hear public testimony. But as we don't have very many people, the people here in person, myself and Mary Bennett, will stay for scheduled testimony. For the month of July, the State Board will receive public testimony on the resolution to revise the implementation schedule for NJSLS in mathematics. Okay, we have a very, very special guest in the audience. I would like to request that the State Board celebrate and honor our former colleague, Mary Beth Gazy. He faithfully served as a board member since July of 2017. Mary Beth is here today along with her very brilliant and lovely daughter, Annalise Bruder. You guys can stand. It's okay. Mary Beth, you have been a mindful and very valuable member of the State Board of Education. You have not only volunteered your time to serve as a member of our State Board of Education, but you have served on so many committees and always risen to the occasion to do so. For us, you've been on the Policy Committee, the Continuing Technical Education Committee, the Nominations Committee, the Charter Schools Committee, and you've served as the chairperson of the Ad Hoc Committee. The expertise and wisdom and generosity that you've shared with us this past 7 years has always been invaluable. I've so much enjoyed working with you, as all of us have who have been with you. On behalf of your colleagues on the State Board of Education and on behalf of Acting Commissioner Damer, we want to thank you sincerely for all that you've given us, along with your service, and present a resolution to you. Before I read the resolution, I would like to please have a motion to do so.
So moved.
Thank you very much, Vice President Mulvihill. May I please have a second?
Second.
Thank you very much, Board Member Barry. Um, all right. Whereas Ms. Mary Beth Gazy served with distinction as a member of the New Jersey State Board of Education from July 2017 through January 2024, and is honored for her distinguished tenure of service. And whereas Ms. Mary Beth Gazy strongly believed in the State Board of Education's role and responsibility in the development of educational policy, and whereas Ms. Gazy contributed significantly to the work on the state board through her service on various committees that examine critical issues in public education related to student assessment, special education, teacher certification, school choice, and career and technical education. And whereas Ms. Gazy, as a member of the Career and Technical Education Committee, consistently advocated for the provision of high-quality programs aimed at ensuring and enhancing viable career opportunities for all New Jersey students. And whereas Ms. Gazy, a longstanding member of the Policy Committee, is held in high regard by the State Board of Education for her ability to analyze educational policy and issues and to effectively express her concerns regarding their impacts on all of New Jersey's children. And whereas the State Board of Education and the Acting Commissioner of Education, Mr. Kevin Damer, recognize Ms. Gazy's many accomplishments and appreciate her qualities as an astute, forward-looking policymaker and strategic thinker that helped guide the board to enact educational policy that effectuated meaningful changes and supported successful practices in New Jersey's public education system. Now, therefore, be it resolved, it is fitting and proper that the New Jersey State Board of Education and the Acting Commissioner of Education extend our sincerest gratitude to Ms. Gazy for her leadership, her steadfast commitment to the children of New Jersey through her service on the State Board of Education, and yet it be resolved that the New Jersey State Board of Education and the Acting Commissioner of Education hereby honor Ms. Mary Beth Gazy for devoting her time, her energy, her thoughts to the State Board and to the oversight of public education in New Jersey. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed, please signify by saying nay. Are there any abstentions at this time? Please signify now. The motion carries unanimously. I have already expressed, not only do I find all of your contributions to this board extraordinary, well received, well spoken, well thought out. I know that some of our board members also would like to say a few words at this time.
I would love to. I don't know how many of you remember, but what I remember is Mary Beth was recruited, I think, by the governor and told that he needed her to fill in to finish out someone's short term of like 6-8 months. Every time a new year would come, she'd say, am I still doing this? And the fact that, she was unselfishly dedicated and hung in there and participated, continued to participate with only an expectation of 6 months, I think is wonderful. It says a lot about Mary Beth. What I really cherished about her is that she had a very practical approach to the issues that came our way. She's smart. She was very civil in the way she expressed herself. And there were times when there were issues that she found herself in the minority, very much so, on very contentious issues. And Annalise, I want you to listen to this because this is for you. Your mother showed courage when maybe the majority wasn't with her to express what she thought in her moral code and herself was the right way to go on issues. And she expressed those because she thought it was the right thing to do. And I tell you what, she did it with such grace and with respect to the people she disagreed with. Really something to behold. And I can't tell you how much I loved having you on the board with me. And it really made me feel, really good about some of the tough issues that we took on. But thank you for your time. Thank you for your service. And thanks for where you were on some of those issues with me. Thank you.
That's a tough act to follow because so much of what Andy said, I truly believe. Mary Beth, you are a joy to work with. It's not easy being on the board. It's for those of us that think, for people who think that we're just reading this information and we take this role so seriously. And to have Mary Beth be a member with us who was so thoughtful and such a person that we could bounce ideas off of and talk to. She was just a great asset to the board. I miss you dearly. It was really, and Annalise, you can be so proud of your mom because she really is an amazing woman. We were so fortunate to have her as a member of the board, and thankful and wish you the best now that you're not on the board. Thank you for all those times and all those years. We appreciate you.
Yes, I'd just like to add, I see Jack wants to chime in too. But Mary Beth, I appreciate our work together over the last 6, 7 years. We were always, we might not have always been in agreement, but I think the way that you approach issues, just as everyone else said, this is a very difficult seat to sit in, and we have some very difficult challenges and discussions and decisions that we have to make. But at the end of the day, after those conversations, after those discussions, and we might have those disagreements, but we're not really like disagreeable. We still come back together, do those things. We're still cordial, courteous to each other, and just understand that this is just part of the process. So I just like to wish you the best in the next stage. Thank you for your years of service, and I enjoyed working with you. Thank you.
Jack? You're on mute. No crying in baseball.
Can you hear me?
Now we can, yes. You're muted, sir.
You're muted again, Jack. We can't hear you. Can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
There you are.
Yes.
Mary Beth, I just want to say it was an honor to serve with you. I was totally honored to be in your environment with the board, and I thank you so very much. And God bless you and your family, and you are the best of the best. Thank you. That's it. That's all I want to say.
Yes. Thank you, Jack. Commissioner, would you like to speak?
So I want to thank you for your service. And I think the striking thing is you being able to bring your daughter here. And that shows that's why we're here. And that's why you were here. And so that's a testament. And I'm sure she's growing into an amazing woman, and it's because of you and it's because of your work here. So just being able to bring that evidence of the work that this board does with you today, I think is really a statement for all of us. And thank you again for all of your time and service. And I noticed in the resolution 2017, I can't believe it's been that long. Time flies, but congratulations and good luck.
Thank you. We should give her. Please come. Yes.
I stand here.
I will not take long. I know how long these meetings can go, so you guys know I'll be short. No, you don't. I know you don't. It is very hard to believe that this process of me being on the board actually started 8 years ago with a phone call from the governor's office that I was not expecting. It took a lot of introspective thought on my behalf to think, am I capable of doing this? You don't say no to the governor. So I said yes. And along the way, I met the most amazing people that really taught me so much, opened my eyes to a lot, and helped me navigate the role of a board member. Being a board member is not easy. I'm going to echo what my dear friend Mary Beth said. What you see in this room is a fraction of what goes on behind the scenes. And it's not just us. It's Diane, our leader that gets everything together, and the Beth and the other women sitting there, and Stephanie, and so many people behind the scenes that work so hard for this board to have what they need and to be able to make informed decisions. If you ask me if I loved being a board member, I think I would say no. It was a lot of hard work, a lot of controversy during the time frame that I was on the board. But what I did love was meeting these amazing people. The first person I met, because I think we had to get photographed and whatever before we were sworn in, was Kathy Goldenberg. And I think that God somehow had a plan for me to meet you. And then, of course, Mary Beth, and I'm going to go off script and be a little informal here because I love these people and I consider them my friends after 6.5 years of working with them. But Mary Beth, Andy, Ned, Elaine, Jack, and I'm just going to say the others who aren't here: Sylvia, Arcilio, Joe, Ron, Fatima. I treasure all of you. I learned so much from you along the way. When I was making my decisions, the way I would vote, as Mary Beth and Andy both said, often in the minority on very difficult issues. But I want you all to know I voted with my heart. I voted in a very informed manner because I'm an attorney full time and I read everything that was presented to us. And a lot of times it was binders full of stuff. And then I think Diane got tired of sending the binders. So we would have to go through and get it online, but I would read it. I always tried to remember what I was here for. And I was here to serve the children of the state, the students of this state, and to make decisions that would allow them to be provided with an education that would allow them to pursue their dreams and pursue whatever role they wanted to do in life. And in doing so, I tried to remember that this is not an agenda that should be pushed, and political views should not come in on this. And I really did vote with the way I was raised and what I felt was right. And every night when I put my head on the pillow and I think about the way I voted, I'm proud of the way I voted because I think I did it in the best way that I could. But the members of this board taught me so much. I am so happy to have had the privilege to serve as a board member. But what came out of this were the people that I met. I learned something from each of you. Honestly, the endless phone conversations, the meetings, the committee meetings, the going back and forth. I love you all dearly. I know that the children of the state are in good hands with people on this board. And I want everyone to know we do not get paid or compensated for our time. So we are really passionate about what we do. These people have families, they have health issues, they have full-time jobs like everyone else, but they do it because they want to do it and they want to be here. So under our fearless leader, Kathy Goldenberg, and of course, my friend, Andrew Mulvihill, I did get to serve, and I am forever grateful that I had this experience. Thank you all so much. You know I love you. Thank you. to get everything already. Okay, I got it. Thanks, guys.
Meeting's over. No. I'm kidding. It's back on. Okay. Thank you, Mary Beth. So I'd like to introduce our State Board of Education member, Miss Nilly Ghosh, a junior at West Windsor Plainsboro High School in Mercer County. Nilly, good morning, welcome. We're so glad to see you again. Every month you bring joy. And as this is your last meeting with us officially, I'd like to go ahead and I understand you have a report to give, and we have something for you. So go ahead.
Thank you, President Goldenberg, and good morning, everyone. As the school year comes to a close, I want to acknowledge that this is the last meeting of my term as the permanent student representative, and therefore I wish to reflect on the past year. First things first, I want to say that I am very excited to pass the baton along to the next student representative, Anna. She is an incredible young woman who is deeply involved in her community through her leadership in student council, sports captainship, and as a tri-season athlete, and involvement in service-oriented clubs at her school. I'm positive that she will accomplish deeply impactful work in her term. In the meantime, I would like to take this time to recall all that this role has taught me and all the valuable experiences that I've been gifted. In my journey with the State Student Council and the Board of Education, I've accomplished so many things that I never thought possible. From speaking monthly at these meetings and representing students across the state, to connecting with my peers across New Jersey at NJASC conferences where we exchanged plans to improve our student councils. From having the opportunity to be a keynote speaker at the 2023 NJSBA conference, where I got to speak to the educational leaders of New Jersey about the contemporary high school experience, to speaking up against violence around the world, an opportunity for which I am infinitely grateful. Across the globe, there's a rise in global tensions, protests, and humanitarian need. And therefore, it is more important than ever to share your voice and find a way to help each other as people. Therefore, I'm grateful to have had the opportunity myself to speak and join so many across the world who call for an end to humanitarian crises such as violence, racism, hunger, genocide, or oppression. I've grown and realized that the impact my voice can have and how much it truly matters to speak up for what one believes in. As I reflect further on this past year, I feel I have grown tremendously in a myriad of ways. I have grown as a speaker, and I have become much more confident and self-assured. I look forward to carrying these crucial traits with me in my future as a young woman heading into my senior year, college, and beyond. Furthermore, in my term, I have come to realize that there is truly nothing as fulfilling as being of service to those around me, and it is something I hope to continuously pursue throughout my life in some form. Excuse me. As for the future, next school year, as a senior, I will serve as my student council's student body secretary, and I primarily aim to continue improving school culture. This summer, I will also begin the college application process, and I plan to pursue my studies in the realm of political science or law and economics. In my adult life, I plan on staying involved in civic engagement in some way, be it running for office or participating in public meetings. Finally, and most importantly, I want to express my thanks to all the people who have enabled me this past year in my journey. I want to thank my family, as they've been unceasingly supportive through the devotion of their time and energy, guiding me through challenging times this past year. I want to thank my teacher advisors, Mr. Gore and Mrs. Newbury, excuse me, who have enabled me through every part of this journey to accomplish the things I would have never imagined. I want to thank NJASC and the students of New Jersey for electing a Board of Ed representative each year, which empowers students with the opportunity to serve in such an impactful capacity. Finally, I want to emphasize the invaluable merit to having a student rep on the board every year who can provide insight into students' lives and aid the board in their mission to provide students with the best education possible. It is my belief that education is one of the strongest tenets of democracy. Therefore, most of all, I want to thank the State Board of Education for providing my predecessors, me, those who will succeed me, and more importantly, each and every student in the state with a voice on the betterment of something as paramount as education. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much. Millie, on behalf of the State Board of Education, I would also like to express my deepest appreciation for your participation, your comments, everything that you've brought to us, not just for the students of New Jersey, but for the board members to hear directly from you. I also would like to thank Mr. Matthew Gore for being here and for helping, and certainly Ms. Christine Newberry also for bringing you and being here to participate. The state board and the acting commissioner would also like to recognize you today for the commitment that you have given us with your year of time. And I would like to ask the state board members to consider a ceremonial resolution to you. And for the 2023-2024 permanent student representative to the State Board of Education. And before we begin with that, I'd like to please have a motion for the resolution to be read. So thank you very much, Board Member Bennett. May I please have a second? Second. Thank you very much, Board Member Pena. I would like to now ask Board Member Mary Beth Berry if she would be so kind as to read the resolution honoring you as our outgoing, I hate to say that, student board permanent student representative. So please.
Absolutely. Thank you, President Goldenberg. And it is an honor to read this resolution. Resolution in honor of Nilijana Ghosh, the 2023-2024 permanent student representative to the New Jersey State Board of Education. Whereas Nili, or we've lovingly call her Nilly, so I'll do that, Ghosh, a student at West Windsor Plainsboro High School in Mercer County, has served with dedication as the student representative to the New Jersey State Board of Education from July 2023 to June 2024. And whereas Nilijana has performed her duties as the state board's liaison to the student community with commitment and has been an admirable representative of both the New Jersey Association of Student Councils and West Windsor Plainsboro High School North. And whereas Nilijana participated in the state board meetings by making presentations to where that were articulate, informative, well-examined, and a benefit to the state board members. And whereas Nilijana's school career demonstrates that she is an accomplished student of academic and leadership activities and community service on the local and state level, demonstrate that others have confidence in Nilijana and her value her contributions. Therefore, be it resolved that the members of the New Jersey State Board of Education and Acting Commissioner of Education, Kevin Deemer, extend their sincere congratulations and appreciation to Nilajana Ghosh for a job well done. And be it further resolved that the New Jersey State Board of Education and the Acting Commissioner of Education wish to acknowledge Nilajana Ghosh's personal and academic excellence, as well as her leadership qualities, and that they wish her continued success in her further endeavors. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. So we have a motion on the floor. We have a second. Is there any further discussion before we vote? Excuse me. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Thank you. Any opposed, please indicate so by saying nay. Any abstentions? Motion carries unanimously. So, Commissioner, would you like to say anything?
I know I came relatively late in your term, but it's been a pleasure to have you. I'm very excited to see that you're going to be going into political science and economics. That's my background. So please hold up the mantle well for us in that field. And I'm looking forward to what you accomplish in the future. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Would you like to say anything at this time?
Yeah, as I said, just thank you everyone for the opportunity to even be here. And I really find myself reflecting on my growth this past year. And yeah, I just hope to continue with everything that I've learned and continue to grow the best that I can. So thank you.
Okay. So next we will go to item 3 on our agenda. And we have a report from our nominating committee given by our chairperson, Mary Beth Berry, if you would be so kind.
Thank you, President Goldenberg. I think we've heard several times today, the role of a State Board of Education member is something that every single person sitting at this table takes very seriously. It's a tremendous amount of work, time, effort, but above and beyond what board members do, we have a leadership team where I will speak on behalf of all members. President Goldenberg, Vice President Mulvihill, you have led us well. We have such appreciation for your extra time and effort. And the board runs as smoothly as it does because we have excellence in leadership. The nominating committee this year was made up of myself as chair, Elaine Bobrow, and Arcilio Aponte. We met on May 15th. We surveyed the board prior to meeting, and in our surveys, we asked, would you like to step up and be part of leadership? And that's an easy one to tally. It's really difficult. Not everybody feels in their heart that they can take on that leadership role. this year, if based on our survey, resounding, Kathy, we have, the nominating committee and the board felt very strongly that, they would like you to, continue in that role. And for the first time, we actually had two candidates whose names came forward on, and received votes as eligible candidates, of course, for the role of vice president. Several board members didn't put down a vice president role, so we will vote at our next meeting. But we are putting forward the name of Kathy Goldenberg for president and Dr. Ned Johnson for vice president. So we will vote next month on that. And again, we thank our current leadership and leadership moving forward for all of the extra effort and time they put forward. So thank you. That's our report.
Thank you very much. Um, okay, so we will vote on that next month.
Correct.
Next, we have our committee reports for the SEL committee. Is Fatima on the line? Okay. The SEL committee, social and emotional learning, met on May 16th, 2024, with Assistant Commissioner Kathy Ealing and the members of her team to discuss new discipline data, including data on the use of restraint and seclusion in the state. The information is expected to be released publicly following this meeting. The SEL committee received an overview of the new data and statewide findings and trends. The department has historically published discipline data in two places. The first is annually in the state performance reports. The information is published at the state, district, and school level and includes information on removals such as suspensions, violent incidents, arrests and harassment, intimidation, and bullying. The second annually is the commissioner's report to the legislature on student safety and discipline within our public schools. The New Jersey data will include information broken down by student groups such as race, ethnicity, gender, grade level and data, and the use of restraint and seclusion within our public schools. Due to the nature of the data, some of it will be suppressed in order to protect students' safety. However, the databases still provide important insights on the use of disciplinary measures and overrepresentation of certain student groups. As part of the presentation, the department shared information on current initiatives, such as the New Jersey School Climate Improvement Platform and the New Jersey Positive Behavior Support in Schools project, which are designed to ensure students feeling safe and supported within their schools. The department also shared information on a new targeted monitoring process that will be in place for the next school year to look more closely at districts which reported large numbers of restraint and seclusion incidents, as well as the overrepresentation of certain student groups within the discipline data. The next committee meeting was policy, which met on May 28th, and Representative Bob Rove is with us today, the chair, to provide the report. You're muted, Elaine.
No, not anymore. Okay. As Kathy said, we met on May 28th. The state board members in attendance via Microsoft Teams was myself as chair, Kathy Goldenberg ex officio, Andrew Mulvihill, Mary Beth Berry, and Mary Bennett. The department staff in attendance via teleconference, Kevin Deemer, Laura Console, Chris Huber, Jesse Young, Diane Schoner, Jordan Schiff, Lisa Haverl, Kathy Ailing, Diana Pasculi, Robert Gregory, Paula Bloom, and Beth Auerswald. You may be amazed at the number of people who, from the department, who gave their time to put the material together for this and also to share that with us at the meeting. The agenda was apparently a very, very long one, although it was done with great dispatch. There were three things we did. The first was Chapter 30, which was an evaluation of school districts, better known as QSAC. The second was the New Jersey Student Learning Standards, a discussion and resolution. And the third was Chapter 21, Katzenbach School for the Deaf, Chapter 21, Marie H. Katzenbach School for the Deaf, and a brief memo requesting straight readoption. The policy committee, as I said, met on May 28th to discuss the readoption of the amendments of Chapter 30, the evaluation of performance of school districts, and the straight adoption without amendments of Chapter 21, the Marie H. Katzenbach School for the Deaf regulations, and a resolution to revise the timeline for implementation of the 2023 New Jersey Student Learning Standards in Mathematics from September 2024 to September 2025. Since this information will be spoken about on today's agenda, I will forgo further details in my report. And thank you very much.
Thank you. Next on our agenda, we have the public testimony procedures that I would like to table at this time. And now, Commissioner, if you're ready to do your items for consideration with us.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam President. There are no commissioner reports this month, so I can move right into items for consideration. And the first one is for appointments. And as there are no appointments this month, we can move right into the next agenda item, which is the certification of school districts. Since the May State Board meeting, the executive county superintendents have finalized 18 NJQSAC evaluations for districts. I'm recommending 8 of those districts for certification. Dr. Irving, Assistant Commissioner of Field Services and Support and Services, and Carla Spates, NJQSAC Coordinator, are here to share share the certifications and respond to questions.
Thank you, Commissioner. Good morning, everyone. This morning, as Commissioner indicated, we have 8 school district certification. As we talked about over the last few months, our QSAC process, has pretty much ending in our respective county offices, and you'll continue to see the various districts, come to the board for certification. This month, we present 8 in Bergen County Alpine Public Schools, in Huntington County, North Huntington Voorhees Regional School District, in Mercer, East Windsor Regional School District, and in Somerset County, you have Branchburg Township, Bridgeport Raritan Regional, Hillsborough Township, and Watchung Hills High School districts. And lastly, in Warren County, you have Franklin Township School District. I'll take any questions from the board if there are any.
I'd like to ask for a motion to accept the 8 districts that were brought forward to us. May I have a motion, please? So moved.
Second.
Thank you very much. Is there any discussion at this time? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Thank you. Any opposed, please signify by saying nay. Are there any abstentions?
Yes, I abstain. 104 is this.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. So
Yep.
the motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
It's been a pleasure.
Moving to the next item, today I present for adoption the annual state board calendar for meeting dates in the 2024-2025 session. President Goldenberg, I'll turn it back to you for discussion.
Thank you. We have gone over the dates in the past month, and we have discussed it in executive to send it out. at this point, are there any discussion about them? Hearing none, all those in favor to accept the dates of the annual state board calendar and adopt them, please say aye.
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 Did I do a motion? I don't think I did a motion. May I have a motion, please, to accept the dates as introduced on the calendar?
Motion to accept the
Thank-
annual calendar.
Thank you, sir. May I have a second? Second. Thank you. Okay, we did it before. We're doing it twice. All right. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed, please say nay. Any abstentions at this time? The motion carries. Thank you. Next.
Moving to the next item, this is a very happy one for us and a somewhat rare one. But we are able to announce that the Marie H. Katzenbach School for the Deaf is in receipt of donated funds from 4 different groups. The first is Thomas and Diane Montemarano, donated funds totaling $25. William Merrihew Jr. donated funds totaling $50. Janice L. Nearstead Keegan donated funds totaling $100. And finally, the Lions Club of Warren Township Foundation donated funds totaling $1,500. These funds are to be used for the sole purpose of supporting student activities such as field trips, yearbooks, and student clubs. Therefore, I request that you adopt the resolution approving the acceptance of these donations. Assistant Commissioner Kathy Ailing is here if you have any questions or require any additional details on these donations.
Do we, sorry, do we know what they're going to be utilized for?
Yes, so Katzenbach has a general student fund, which is used to support such things as purchasing yearbooks, awards for the students, class trips. So anything that would directly support student involvement, engagement, that is where the money will be utilized.
Thank you. Any other questions? Hearing none, may I ask permission to accept that the funds be allowed to be accepted by the Katzenbach School. Thank you very much, Board Member Bennett. May I please have a second?
Second.
Thank you very much. Dr. Johnson, last time for any discussion at this point. Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Thank you. Any opposed, please signify by saying nay. Any abstentions? I would like to thank the motion carries. I would like to thank the state-run school for hosting the State Board of Education Student Recognition Award that we held on May 23rd. The Department of Education sent their state board leaders, and Mary Bennett and I, Board Member Bennett and I, and Commissioner Dama were thrilled to participate, and we thank them for hosting us, and we thank the State Board Office for coordinating it and getting everything ready. Next, we have the regulatory.
And I'll invite Ms. Kathy Ailing up for this one as well. Today, I'm pleased to present the notice for readoption of Chapter 21. This chapter includes policies related to the Marie H. Katzenbach School for the Deaf, or as we call it, the Katzenbach School. The department is recommending the State Board of Education readopt the chapter with no amendments. And I'll turn it over to Kathy for a presentation.
Thank you very much, and good morning, President Goldenberg and Vice President Mulvihill. As the commissioner stated, I'm here this morning to provide an overview of Chapter 21, which governs the Marie H. Katzenbach School for the Deaf, and discuss the department's request to readopt the chapter with no amendments. Oh, there we go. The Marie H. Katzenbach School for the Deaf is the only state-run, by statute it was established, state-run school for students who are deaf in the state. It is located in Ewing, New Jersey, right down the road. And some of you were able to be there for our student recognition ceremony. It has been in existence since 1883. and does serve students from preschool through age 21. The school also has a residential program where students are able to remain on campus Monday through Thursday. Students attend from around the state, and while the school does primarily serve students who are deaf, over recent years, we have seen an increase in students with multiple disabilities in attendance as well. So the purpose for today is to review the regulations of Chapter 21. These regulations govern the eligibility criteria, admission and graduation requirements for students who are attending the school or looking to attend the school. Over the last few months, the department has reviewed the regulations and determined that amendments are not necessary at this time. And therefore, we are proposing to re-adopt the regulations with no amendments. No changes are necessary. I do want to note, however, that adoption without amendment does not preclude any future amendments if and when it is determined that they are necessary. And I'm happy to take any questions that you may have about Chapter 21 and the regulations.
Questions from any board members? Hearing none, I'd like to ask permission to accept this adoption, re-adoption. Thank you very much, Board Member Kenya. May I please have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Board Member. Sorry, Dr. Johnson, all those, is there any further discussion at this point? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed, please indicate so by saying nay. Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Moving to item F, which is the regulatory and equivalency waiver at proposal level. Today, I present for your consideration the readoption with amendments to Chapter 5, the regulatory equivalency and waiver rules. This chapter establishes the regulatory flexibility for school districts and other programs regulated by the department. Ms. Diane Schoner is joining here to share some additional information and answer any questions you may have.
Good morning. How are you?
Good morning.
Good morning. Okay. As discussed last month, the Chapter 5 serves to provide regulatory flexibility to school districts and entities regulated by the department through Title 6A of the Administrative Code. And as delegated by you, the commissioner has the authority to approve equivalencies and waivers to specific rules so that requests from school districts can come in and they can be offered some flexibility to the rules. This chapter does expire in October, and last month, after first discussion, you made a motion to go to skip second discussion and go to proposal. So we're at that stage right now. So I am not really good with this. What am I doing wrong? No. That's going to help me with the technical stuff. Maybe Stephanie is going to help us with even the more technical stuff. Okay, thanks. Okay, you were provided with a more detailed presentation in your packet of materials, and it fully addresses the chapter and the readoption. They're very technical and they clarify the application process for school districts. They make it more efficient. Since first discussion, we have not received, we only received one comment from one stakeholder. Those comments are fully addressed in your packet of materials, and they did not generate any additional changes at this point in the process. And just, do you have any questions or any comments at this point?
Hearing none from the board members, I think we can go ahead and ask for a vote. May I have a motion first, please? Thank you, Board Member Bennett. May I please ask for a second? Second. Thank you very much, Board Member Pena. Any discussion at this point? Hearing none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Thank you. Any opposed, please signify by saying nay. Are there any abstentions? Hearing none, the motion carries. Thank you, Director Schoner.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're now moving to item G. And so as many of you recall, both English language arts and mathematics standards were adopted this past October in 2023 with an implementation date of this coming September in 2024 scheduled for both content areas. Today, I would like you to consider a recommendation to adjust the implementation date for the New Jersey Student Learning Standards in Mathematics to September of 2025. This adjustment will allow school districts to allocate the finite resources required for curricular revisions, instructional materials, and professional learning across 2 distinct years. Dr. Jordan Schiff and Lisa Hairbroll are here to answer any questions that you may have on this proposal.
I was privy to the committee reports when we discussed this. And I did hear from the field, from administrators, that they were quite concerned about doing both of them, that it was quite cumbersome for the districts in trying to do so. I don't know if any other board members have anything they'd like to add to that at this point, or any questions at this point. Thank you. Have you heard, I have one question. Have you heard a lot from the field about this
Yes,
since this was put out to the field?
we have heard some information from the field, positive, that they were happy that the board is now considering giving a longer runway for mathematics.
Have we heard anything in addition since our last meeting? I was wondering, we had our policy meeting and we talked about this. Now there's been a little more time, so I think I'm just kind of want to piggyback a little more on what Kathy said. Are people, if they're hearing this is going to be a reality, feeling real confident with this?
Well, it just became public when the resolution was published on Monday. So there hasn't been a lot of lead time where the field has been reacting to it. We'll see after this meeting, certainly. And as the board considers this resolution.
This is the discussion level, so
Right.
we'll generate comments now going over the next. session.
Hearing nothing else, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Madam President, that concludes all of the items for consideration.
This is another record. I'd like to please ask if there's any new business at this time from our board members. Hearing none, may I please have a motion for adjournment? Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Board Member Pena, may I please have a second?
Second.
Second.
Thank you very much, Dr. Johnson. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed, please say nay. I won't ask about abstentions. Thank you very much. Meeting's over. Have a great June. Enjoy graduations, everyone.